Hey everyone, I hope you all are doing very well and that you're having a good time so far. If you're coming from our previous video, we will be starting very soon, and if that's your first time watching my video, I would recommend you to go ahead and click on the intro video which I have attached on the description below, so you have like a better idea of what we will be building or what we are building actually. Yeah, if you do like what I'm doing right now, please just show some love by liking, share, and subscribe as well, because I'm planning on coming up with more tutorials and better explain, because right now I'm just starting, you know what I mean, and it's not that obvious, but get used to it. Okay guys, so previously we were able to populate the cells, create a custom cells, register the custom cells, give the custom cells a background image and a label, and yeah, so that's what we had so far, and we were able to cache the image using SD web image instead of just using NS cache manually. But I will make a video for you guys who prefer NS caching and just put it out there, so whoever want to use NS cache can go ahead and do it, because again it's very important to know how to do stuff uh, without having to import any third-party library, because that's the downside of using third-party library. You will have to rely on them. Okay, there we go. So now what we want to do is being able to click on every cell and then transition to another screen by using the same image. Okay, as you guys saw here, whenever I click on a cell, it's not taking time to load the image because it's already cached. It just take that image from the previous screen and just pass it here, as well as the data. Okay, I want to pass this data. They start by Torylanus. It's not refetching the data. It's taking the same data and it passes that data in this new view controller, this new screen. Okay, it's very important. So let's just get started, guys. Go ahead and create a new controller. Command N. Let's call this guy details. So import UI kit instead of foundation. Again, guy, foundation is part of UI kit. Go ahead and make it a class. Give it the same title, details, which is a UI view controller. Okay, and make sure you call the view did load lifecycle. Okay, and have access to super dot view did load. Go ahead and make the background view the background color equal green, so that we make sure we're calling this screen. Okay, now that screen will be shown by clicking on this on one of the cells. So be aware, guys, number of rows and self row at index path, these are functions of data source, but for the delegate we have to call this select row. You see, this select row at index path that row. But let's go ahead and make the table view that deselect row at index path animated true. It just means whenever you click it deselect the screen basically. Okay, let's go ahead and just show you guys so far what it means. It's going to be running the app again. Check this out. Whenever I click, it deselected ASAP. You see, it's not even, so we're not saying it. That's what it means. But now what happened whenever you click? We need to transition. Okay, how would you do the transition? We need to create let details equal details view controller. Okay, now go ahead and do navigation, because right now we are on a navigation, right? We are, because this controller, this home control, this feed controller lives inside of a navigation controller. So what do? We need to push a view controller. What view controller are we pushing? We're pushing details, and we no details with low cut animated true. Let's see what we got, guys, so far. Again, just making sure you run your app all the time just to see if things are working as expected is very important. You see, it just shows the thing very quick. It shows the screen. So that's what we want. Perfect. So now we can move forward to the next stage. Okay. How about if we introduce the how about if you introduce the details with a property album? Go ahead and create a let constants, or actually a variable label album actually, and make sure it's of type album model, right? And whenever you don't do that, guy. Okay, do it. Album model var album of type album model, and go ahead and force unwrap, because we will be initializing this guy. So we need to initialize it with album model. Now let's refer to the one on the class level, and let's give it the one we got, and I'll hit it. Okay, now we need to do the requiring in it. So now what I'm saying here is every time, we need to do super that in it. A little bit off right now. Okay, we need to initialize it with what? Let's initialize it with returns a newly initialized view controller with a nib file. No, I don't want that. Wait, let's try this one. Okay, initialize it with a bundle nil and a nib nil. Now let's see what do we have, guys. So what I'm saying here, every time you try to create an instance of this class, you have to give it an album. Okay, so when you come back to feed, now we will have an error. Go back and create instance it again and give it the albums. Give it the album at the appropriate index path. It's going to create that album equal the array of albums at index path row. Okay, now we need to pass that album. Now we need to pass it. Well, just need to pass this album. Okay, now let's go back here and print album received from feed is dot album dot let's rename. Okay, go ahead and run it. Let's see what we got so far. So it means every cell that I click on, it should print this line of code. It should not only open details, but it should print that line of code. Okay, go ahead and click this guy. Album received from feed is Savage Mode 2. Okay, what about if we click this one? Anniversary. Good. Okay, let's go back. So this one is topped by Young Boy. Album received is top. Okay guys, so that's what I wanted to see. Now we can go ahead and remove the background. Instead of making it green, let's make it white. Okay, we don't need this line of code no more, because we know for sure our album has been passed. Now what do we need to do? We need to create, because these guys have our image view and it has a title and it has a couple of labels. Okay, let's go ahead and put the image view first, then we put these labels, then we put the button. Let's go ahead and create a private album cover, which is UI image view. We create IV, let IV equal UI image view. Okay, let's return this out. So far return IV. Okay, and we need to construct it. I'm going to create a label, private album title. It's a label, right? UI label. Go ahead and create the label inside and return that label and make construct it. Okay, and now let's go ahead and make a mark. Let's call it helpers. Let's call it configurations. Okay, and make an extension very quick. We extend the details, and let's clear file private function. Let's say configure the user interface. Okay, so first thing first, what is this? Expected var. We need to create. I always forget the var. I don't know why. Very annoying. So now we have two labels. We need to add them to the simple view. View.add subview. Guys, if you remember what I told you last time, what do you guys think I should add first? The image or the label? I should add the image first because the label will be shown on top of the image. Okay, let's add the cover, album cover. Let's go ahead and pin it to the edges. Let's say album cover dot. So we're pinning here on top, left, top, and right, and we give it a width and a height. We actually don't need to give it a width, we can just give it a height. So album cover, the snap, the make constraints, call it make. Okay, make dot top dot leading dot trailing equal to super view, and we give it a padding. We don't need the bottom. Okay, let's just give it padding of let's say 10. Let's give it 12 actually. And now we need to give it a height. Make dot height dot equal to super view, and we give it a multiplier. If you guys have to use common sense, what is the height of this related to from top to bottom? I'll say 20%, so give it 0.20. Okay, yeah. Let's give it a background right now just to see that it's showing up. IV the background color equal that orange. Let's see what we got. It's not even showing. Do you guys know why it's not showing? Because I don't. Okay, we did not call the configure UI. Let's go ahead and call the configure UI just below view deload. Get it? Because that's a function. Okay, we need the call. All functions should be called on the view deload. Okay, let's click on this one. Okay, bet it gave it 20%. And I don't have the padding top. I don't know why I don't have the padding top, though it was mentioned here. Does anybody have any idea why? Okay, I know why. Now remove the top and let's make it different. Say make top equal to, let's get the view, we snap it to the, oh, how is it called again? I think it's edges or whatever. No, it's not edge. I forgot how it's called. Let's give it a simple view. Equal to, just give it a simple view. Leave it instead of 40. How come I forgot that word? Okay, so it's negative 40. Okay, this is weird. I think, guys, I think it's called save something equal to view. That's safe. Okay, safe area. No, right, it should work. Yeah, I know it's kind of like annoying, but that's how programming works. I'm not supposed to remember everything. Yeah, but 20% is small. Let's give it 40. 0.40. You know, I need an inset. Give it instead of 4. Yeah, guys, you have to do a lot of trials and errors. That's how you will be able to work out things well. Okay, it's a little bit better now. If you make it maybe the same 12, and we have to make the edges round. Okay, go ahead and give it 12 on top. And before we put the edges, let's just go ahead and put the label. View the subview. How do we call that guy? It's called album title. Go ahead and click title. And let's make a constraints on the album title. Make. We call it make. Okay. Make that top. Dot equal to. Now, if you guys take a look at it, this one is pinned below the image, right? That's what we're doing now. We say make the top dot equal to image view, the cover view, right? Album cover. That's not that bottom. Let's give it an inset of 20, right? And now we want this guy to be pinned as well, the same padding that we have on the image cover. Let's go ahead and do make that leading and that trailing equal to album cover. Okay, let's go ahead and run this. But before we're able to run, let's just give it a dummy data. Album the title, label that title, the text equal hey there. Let's see what we got so far. Okay. So instead of giving it instead of giving 20, we need to give it negative 20. Actually give it negative 30. and now it should work. Okay, it should work now. Cool. Now what do we need to do, guys? We need to we need to import SD image. Import SD web image. And now we need to take this album, feed it to the view model, and let the view model handle the rest. Why don't we just go ahead and create file private func configure view model. Okay, make sure you construct it, and all we need to do, just go ahead and create a new view model. Let view model equal album view model dot init. We initialize it with the album. Alright, now what do we need to do? We need to take we need to remove the background color as well as the label text, and we say album cover that SD web image or SD set image URL. We say view model that thumbnail, and remove this bit since we don't need it. And now we take album title dot text equal view model dot what dot artist name and album name and artist, and go ahead and onto label, give it a 0. The number of lines should be equal to 0, so you can, if we have a long name and artist, you can just make it into 2 lines. Go ahead and run. It's not going to work since I haven't called configure view model. Go ahead and configure view model just below the thing. So it will configure the view model as soon as it finishes configuring the UI. You can also call it on view did load. It's all up to you, but I would prefer putting it here. Go ahead and click on the first link. Okay, it just passed the same thing. Click on it. Okay guys, this is it's a little bit close to what we have. Okay, now let's go ahead and make our thing rounded to the edges. How do we do that? Go ahead and just below album cover, let's say album cover that layer, that corner radius equal 10, and go ahead and do album cover that master bound. It's not master bound, it's corner bounds or whatever. Clister bound equal true. Okay, and now instead of giving it 40, why don't we just go ahead and give it 45, just to make the height a little bit bigger. Let's see what we got now. Yeah, perfect guys. So we don't even need these 2 labels because it's almost the same process. You see it's rounded to the edges, and now I'm able to do this. Okay, so we need the button. Let's go ahead and create the button, and we're done. Go ahead and create a private variable open album button. Go ahead and make it a UI button. Okay, go ahead and create a LED button equal UI button. Make it a type dot system and return the button. Make sure you construct it. Okay, now button, that's the title. Let's give it a title open. Okay, forward, stay normal. Okay, let's set the background color button. Let's set title color and give it a white color, normal. And let's set the background color now. Button, the background color equal what? Dark black, right? Okay, now we need to add this button to the subview. Go ahead a little bit below configure view model, say button, view the subview. We need to add the button, right? And we need to anchor this button. So button dot snap the make constraints, call it make, and take the make the bottom, because as you guys see, this guy is like anchored to the bottom, like equal to take the view that's safe, give it an instead of what, say -10. Okay, and then we have left and right, make the leading, the trailing. We can literally just make it equal to be the same as the one we created on album cover, or the same as we created, yeah, on album cover. Okay, now we need to give it a height, make the height equal to, let's give it a height of 50. Let's run all out and see what do we have. Okay, that's not bad. We just need to push it up a little bit. Instead of -10, it's actually 10. Okay, and what else do we need, guys? We need to do open on items instead of open items, and we need to give it a bold font. So where is it? Button, open on items. Okay, now button, the font, title label, the font, okay, equal UI font, the bold, give it a 18. And guys, we also have to make it, rounded to the edges. So how do we do that? We can just copy this 2 line of code and paste it here. Now instead of album cover, it's button, right? Same thing with this guy. Now run, and we're done with there's a lot of refactoring to do, guys, but like I'm exhausted right now, I'm bored. So I hope on our next videos I will go a little bit deeper on how to do the refactoring, and also how to make a lot of testing, because a code without testing is weird. Okay, let's go ahead and do the testing, and do the refactoring to make it clean and make sure it's reusable, so you guys can use some components of this code however you want it. Okay, thank you guys, and please do leave me a comment if you have any question. If you like my video, do share and subscribe and all those good stuff, man. Thank you, and see you all on the next video.